All right, now what we will do, we will start working on our player shooting, and we will add some shooting mechanics to our player. Now, since we don't have any dedicated gun on our player, I will create fire point at the wing of our player. For example, from here, we will create our bullets, okay? So on the player, let's right click, create empty, and let's call this one fire pose, and it will be fire position. We need to position our fire point in the correct spot, and it's not easy, so just check from all of the angles. Somewhere here, okay, in front of our wing, we will create our bullet. All right, now what else we need? We can make player shooting with the two parts to make everything easier. First part will be to actually create our bullet in the scene when we click our mouse click, for example, when we touch our mouse, our left mouse click. And second part will be to actually make our bullet to launch, make our bullet to fly. For that, well, we also will need to have bullets. So let's create simple 3D object, a sphere, okay? This will be our bullet. Um, we can obviously change color or material on it, but also we need to resize it because right now it's too large for the bullets. Let's try 0 0.5 on all of the axes. I think it's better now. Yeah, let's call this one player bullet. And this player bullets needs to have few things. Well, it also obviously all has collider by default, which is fine. And we will add one more component, which is rigid body. And this rigid body will add some physics elements such as gravity, air resistance, and stuff like that. What I will do, I will just uncheck use gravity because I don't want my bullet to fly down. When the game starts, okay? So we will uncheck use gravity. Also, let's make our bullet prettier because right now it's just gray bullets, which is boring. Um, let's try to change material on it. Do we have any good materials in our project? Let me see. Um, we don't have anything in our platformer asset as a C, or we have some materials, but it's for the environment. Materials, environment. Well, we have different materials. We can use those materials if we want. We can take them and drop them in the on the bullets, and bullets will have different color. Let's try this ocean one. Also might work. I will use this pink one. Okay, and also let's add some uh, effects so that our bullet will look cooler. So in our JMO assets, let's see what we have. We have these electric effects. Okay, let me see how it looks. It might look cool. Let me position it better, just like so. We can also resize our effects little bit if we want. Okay, something like this will be fine, I think. They have sparks, glow, and yeah, I think this glow is not needed. You can obviously leave this glow if you want. I will uncheck this glow, okay? And what I will do, I will just drop this effect inside this player bullet, so it will be part of player bullet and it will follow player bullet. Okay, now that we have our bullets all working fine, Next step will be to create script, new script. Let's call this one player shooting. Let it compile and we will start working on it. It will be not hard to create this shooting mechanic. I will explain you how to easily create it. So let's open our player shooting script. What we need here? Well, we will need to have variables. We will need a reference to our fire point. So public transform fire pause. Okay. Also, we need a reference to our bullet. Public game objects bullet. Well, for now we don't need anything. And now let's create function with the name of shoot. Public void shoot. And well, this should basically create our bullet in the scene. For that, we can use instantiate method that we used before. We are creating bullets, comma, at the fire pause dot position, and at the fire pause dot rotation. Okay, and this will create bullet. Also, we should attach it to some input. All right, so in the update, let's get input. Let's say if our input dot get mouse button down, and in brackets we can say 0, which means that we are referring to our left mouse click, and here we will just call our shoot function. For now, that's it. Let's save this script. Let's compile. Let's go back. And well, we need to create prefab from these player bullets in order to use it. And prefabs are just like game objects which can be reused in other levels or in scripts and so on. And to create prefab, it's very, very simple. We just need to drag and drop this player bullet from the hierarchy to assets folder. But to stay organized, let's create new folder with the name of prefabs. Let's open prefabs and let's drop player bullet there. And now it's changed color and icon. It means that player bullet is now prefab. I will remove this player bullet from the hierarchy because we don't need it anymore. Let's attach our player shooting script to the player. And here we need to assign few things. We need to assign fire pause and bullets, and we need to assign this bullet from the prefabs folder. Where is our prefabs? Here it is. Let's select player and let's drop player bullet right here. Now if we hit play, when I click my left mouse, you see our bullets are creating. Obviously they are not doing anything just yet, and well, first part is over with it. Now for the second part, as I said, we need to make our bullet to launch. So what I will do, I will go in prefabs and let's take our player bullet back in our hierarchy. Also, I will go in scripts folder and I will create another script with the name of bullets. And this time we will assign this bullet script into the player bullet. So let's assign it right here and let's double click to open in Visual Studio. Now for the bullet, what we need? We will need to have few variables. We need a variable for the speed, so public float bullet speed. Also, we need reference to our rigid body, so private rigid body, and let's call this one RB. And well, also we need to have some kind of time, some kind of bullet time, because I don't want my bullet to exist in the scene forever. It will not be good for optimization. So after some time, we need to destroy our bullet basically. So we can create variable for it as well, public float bullet life, let's call it. And yeah, for now that's it. We obviously we might need to have some impact effects also. Yeah, let's create variable for it, public game objects, let's call this one impact effects. All right, we have everything. First of all, right now we are creating this private rigid body RB, but when we use this RB, Unity will not know what we mean under RB. Okay, to tell Unity what we mean under RB, we can use get component method. We can say RB equals get components, and the component that we want is rigid body, brackets and semicolon. Well, this get components method will check all the elements under our bullets, and we'll see that, yeah, we have this rigid body. So when we use RB, we mean this rigid body. That's the whole process of the get component. Now, anyway, in order to move our bullets, we can use rigid bodies methods. One of them is RB dot linear velocity. By the way, if you are using old Unity version, you can use rb.velocity instead. Mm. And it will be equal to, well, we need some direction, which is transform.forward in our case, and we will multiply it to our bullet speed, obviously, because we need some bullet speed. Okay, now this will make sure that our bullet have some speed, and it will fire our bullet. Also, what we need to destroy our bullet, as I said. So I will just create awake function, and this awake function will be called even before start. And here I will say destroy our game object, which is our bullet, comma, and here we can say bullet life after some time. We will assign some time to the bullet life in the Unity editor. Also, we need to destroy our enemies. In our case, our enemies will be those boxes. So these boxes needs to have tags. So let's select one of the boxes and let's add tag, click plus, and let's call this one enemy with the capital E. Let's save. And now I will just select all of my boxes and I will assign enemy tag to them. Okay. Now all of them has enemy tag. Now let's go back, and now let's create on trigger enter function. And here let's find our enemy tag. If other dot game object dot tag double equals, and in quotation marks we can say enemy. Okay, well, what should happen? In general, we should have some impact effect. I guess we can use explosion effect for it. But anyway, let's instantiate some effects. Instantiate impact effect, comma, at the other dot transform dot position. Okay, and we can use quaternion dot identity here as well. Okay, we have some effects. Also, we want to destroy our box, so we will say destroy other dot game objects. And also we need to destroy our bullet, destroy game object, and semicolon at the end. I think that's pretty much it. We can save this script. Finally, let's go back. Okay, now let's select player bullets, and we need to assign bullet speed. Let's make bullet speed 10, bullet life 2 seconds will be fine. And impact effect, I will use some explosion effect here as well, but you can use any other thing. So I will just drop explosion right here. And since we did some changes to the player bullet, and since it's prefab, what we should do, we should go up and we should click overrides and apply all to save changes to the prefab. Okay. After doing that, we can safely remove our player bullet from the hierarchy, obviously. And I think we assigned everything. Let's press play. And yep, we have bullets and it can destroy our boxes. Obviously, bullet speed is too low, I think. And also note that our player moved. That happened because our bullet is colliding with our player, and that should not happen. And for that, what we can do to fix it, let's take player bullet back in the scene. We can use layer system. Basically, we can create layer for the player bullet and for the player, and then we can tell Unity to ignore collision between those two layers. So player bullets, let's create a layer for it. I will just call it bullet simply. And let's assign bullet layer to the bullets. Yes, change children as well. And let's select player. Let's add layer. I will call it player. And let's assign player layer. Yes, change children. And now we should find our matrix, our collision matrix. So let's open our project settings. Let's find here physics settings. I don't even remember where it is. Yeah, here it is, physics settings, layer collision matrix. Here we have all the layers, and you see we have these bullets, and we have this bullet and the player. So I will just uncheck this bullet and the player crossover point, and that will be pretty much it. Let's go back. Now we should not have any problems. I will just increase speed of the bullet to be 20, and also let's click overrides, apply all. Let's remove player bullet from the hierarchy and let's check. So yep, here we go, much better. And now we don't have any weird collision between bullets and the player, which is also fine. And note that after 2 seconds our bullets are destroyed due to our bullet lifetime, which is enough time to reach boxes. Obviously you can take those bullets a little bit up by repositioning player fire pause. If you want to have it a little bit up, it's up to you, and it will be completely fine. Also, you can resize player bullets if you want. And yeah, here we go. Now, one problem that we have here is that now I can spam shoot my player bullets, and that's not really fair, right? Our players should not be able to do that. Instead, what we should do, we should have some kind of time between shots. And for example, we can be able to shoot, and after that, we should have some time between shots, and then we should be able to shoot again. That's how it's gonna work. So let's do that. Let's open our player shooting, and we need to now work a little bit here. Let's create a variable for the time between shots. So public float time between shots, semicolon. Also, let's create boolean, which will tell if we can shoot or not. Let's name it can shoot. By default it will be true, because when the game starts we will be able to shoot, obviously. Now, when you want to create time between shots, delay times, and stuff like that, you can use the coroutine. And coroutine are great. You can give coroutine different commands, and it will um, obviously do everything. To create coroutine, we should create special function with the name of iNumerator. So we will create iNumerator. Let's call this one shoot delay. Okay. And here what we can do? Well, this shoot delay will be called when we fire first bullet. After that, we should not be able to shoot. So we'll say can shoot equals false. We should have some time, some delay time, right? So we can say yield return new wait 4 seconds. And in brackets, we can say any number and it will be our delay time. But since we already created variable for it, let's use time between shots. Semicolon at the end. And after that, we will be able to shoot again. So can shoot will become true. That's the main logic, okay? Now we need to call this coroutine from somewhere, and obviously we will call it from the shoot function. We will say start coroutine, and in brackets we should say name of our iNumerator function, which is shoot delay. One more brackets and semicolon at the end. And one more detail, everything is almost ready. We just need to add condition right here. We will use end sign right here, and we will say can shoot. Now, what's and why we are doing that? In order the shoot to happen, both of those conditions should be true. We obviously can always click our left mouse, so left condition always can be true, but can shoot will always be true, only will be true after some delay time, after some time between shots. So when the both conditions will be true, our shooting will happen. That's it. I think that's it. Let's save and let's see how it works. Let's select player. Time between shots. Let's make it 1. So we will be able to shoot 1 bullet every 1 second. Yeah, I'm spamming my left click, and as you see, I'm only able to shoot uh, once in 1 second. Obviously, you can increase or decrease that number. It's up to you. But yeah, here we go. This is how you can create fully working shooting mechanics for your games.